Brave New World by Aldous Huxley is a visionary exploration of a dystopian future where humanity sacrifices freedom, individuality, and emotions for stability, comfort, and control. Written in 1932, the novel imagines a technologically advanced society called the World State, where progress has come at a terrifying cost. Natural birth no longer exists. Instead, humans are artificially created in hatcheries, conditioned from the very beginning to accept their roles in a rigid caste system. The five social classes, alphas, betas, gammas, deltas, and epsilons, are biologically engineered to fit specific roles, from the intelligent alphas who lead society to the epsilons who perform menial tasks. This hierarchical system ensures everyone knows their place and is content with it, not through personal fulfillment, but through relentless conditioning. Key to maintaining societal stability is the drug soma, a state-sponsored hallucinogen that eliminates stress, pain, and dissatisfaction. Whenever anyone feels the slightest discomfort, they take soma to escape reality. Emotions, personal connections, and even family ties have been deemed dangerous to societal order and are eradicated. Relationships are shallow, promiscuity is encouraged, and the very idea of love or deep bonds is mocked. In this world, freedom has been exchanged for the illusion of happiness. The story begins with Bernard Marx, an alpha plus who feels like an outsider in this so-called perfect world. Despite being part of the highest caste, Bernard is smaller and weaker than his peers, which makes him insecure. He despises the shallowness and conformity of the world state and secretly longs for deeper meaning. Unlike his peers, he questions the use of soma and the mindless pursuit of pleasure that defines daily life. Bernard is drawn to Lenina Crown, a beta worker who is the epitome of the world state's values, conformist, carefree, and perfectly conditioned. Despite their opposing views, Lenina agrees to accompany Bernard on a trip to the Savage Reservation, a place outside the world state where people still live naturally, free from technology and conditioning. At the Savage Reservation, Bernard and Lenina meet John, a young man who has grown up in this wild and untamed environment. John's mother, Linda, was originally from the world state, but was abandoned on the reservation after becoming pregnant, a scandalous situation in a society where natural reproduction is considered grotesque. Linda has been ostracized by the reservation's people, while John, her son, has grown up caught between two worlds. He has been raised with the cultural traditions of the reservation, but his exposure to his mother's memories of the world state and his deep love of Shakespeare have shaped him into a unique individual. Through Shakespeare's works, John has developed a strong sense of morality, love, and honor, concepts entirely alien to the world state. Intrigued by John's unconditioned humanity, Bernard decides to bring him and Linda back to London. Bernard hopes that John, now dubbed the Savage, will help him gain status and attention. When they return to the world state, John quickly becomes a sensation. The citizens are fascinated by his natural emotions and strange perspectives. To them, he is an exotic curiosity, a spectacle to be observed rather than understood. Linda, meanwhile, indulges in a constant soma haze to escape her feelings of rejection, eventually succumbing to the drug. As John is paraded around society, he grows increasingly horrified by what he sees. The world state's obsession with shallow pleasures, lack of personal connections, and absence of genuine emotions disgust him. He cannot understand how people live such hollow lives, numbing themselves with soma and avoiding anything meaningful or challenging. His disdain for the society reaches its peak when Lenina, who has become infatuated with him, tries to seduce him. John, deeply influenced by Shakespeare's ideals of love and chastity, is repelled by her forwardness. He rejects her, calling her impure, which leaves her confused and hurt. This moment crystallizes John's alienation from the world state. The novel reaches its intellectual climax when John confronts Mustafa Mond, one of the world controllers. Mond explains the philosophy behind the world state. The elimination of individuality, freedom, and art is necessary to maintain societal stability. In their world, science is used not to explore or question, but to control and sustain the system. Pain, conflict, and choice have been eradicated, ensuring that everyone is happy. But, as John argues, this comes at a devastating cost. Without suffering or struggle, humanity loses its depth, creativity, and soul. John proclaims, "I don't want comfort. I want God. I want poetry. I want real danger. I want freedom. I want sin. Mon counters that this freedom only leads to chaos, unhappiness, and instability. Their debate highlights the central question of the novel. Is it worth giving up what makes us human for the promise of a painless existence? Unable to reconcile his ideals with the world state's values, John retreats to an abandoned lighthouse on the outskirts of civilization. There, he attempts to live a life of solitude and purity, punishing himself for what he sees as his moral failures. However, his isolation becomes a public spectacle. Crowds gather to watch his strange rituals, treating his suffering as entertainment. Lenina approaches him one last time, but in a moment of rage and despair, John lashes out at her. Consumed by guilt and unable to endure the emptiness of both the world state and his own existence, John takes his life, leaving the world state unchanged. Brave New World is a haunting critique of a society where comfort and stability come at the expense of freedom and individuality. Through John's tragic journey and his clash with the world state, Huxley explores profound questions about the cost of progress, the nature of happiness, and the meaning of humanity. The novel forces readers to confront uncomfortable truths about their own world and serves as a timeless warning against the dangers of sacrificing our humanity for the illusion of perfection.